Hi, Mark Slater here, Prime Spine Consulting. I'm honored to have Dr. Scott Clark with me. He's a chiropractor out of Louisiana. So, Scott, thank you for doing this for me to help inspire others to take action and grow their business. So, thank you for doing this interview with me.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So, Scott, let me ask you. You joined my program in January of 2021, so you're a recent client into the program. Tell me the story or the little scene of what was going on in your practice and in your life, essentially, and why did you reach out to me in January of this year?
Yeah, so I think, well, first of all, we've been doing PI work for about 10 years, and we've been successful at it, but not consistent. And so, we've had some ups and downs with it as far as referrals on a monthly basis, and not really didn't really have control of what I feel like of how many referrals we were going to get. We never knew. We were really at the mercy of a few firms that we had great relationships with. And so you throw 2020 into the mix last year, where things really slowed down for everybody. Fortunately, we're an integrated practice, and we were able to kind of jump on some of the medical things and COVID testing to kind of help get us through that. But I really felt like I needed to stop flying under the radar and really get out there and market our practice, and really kind of take control of making sure that our numbers were sufficient and consistent over time. And so we had been thinking about hiring a marketing person for a long time. Really didn't know how to go about it or what to do with them once we hired them. And so just happened to, at the same time earlier this year, see your Facebook ad and filled out the form, and we talked, and it felt like a good fit. And so we went ahead and signed up and moved forward.
Okay, got it. And about how many PI patients a month were you getting, like December, January? Like, where were you?
Well, it was much slower last year. We've had times when we've been, 20 to 30 referrals in a month. We've had some months where we've had, 5 to 10. And so real inconsistent, at times really slow. Other times we felt like it was really good. And, we're kind of on our way, and I wish every month could be like this kind of thing. It just wasn't.
You're wishing it into existence.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. And tell me about your when you got started in the program. Tell me about getting started in the program. Like, what did you do? Tell me a little bit about that.
So it took us it took us 2 to 3 weeks to find the right person. And then once we hired someone in mid-February, we took the first 2 weeks to do some training and for her to learn about our practice and how we operate, to learn how the PI business works, to have a basic understanding. And then she really got rolling March 1st, and really hit the ground running. It's been pretty phenomenal since then.
So how many new PI patients when did you get in February? Like, when you just kind of started in the program, like, what was the total of new PI patients in February, a month after you joined the program?
So the month of February, we had 9 referrals.
9 referrals.
Okay. 9 PI referrals.
9 PI referrals in February. And let's fast forward to it's June of 2021. What have the past 3 months looked like for your practice in terms of new personal injury patients?
Right. So March, we immediately jumped up to 32 new referrals, which was fantastic. And then in April, we had 52. And in May, we had 36. Okay. And then the first 5 or 6 days of this month, we're already at 16. So we're expecting another big month this month. So it really, having somebody that, we kind of started with the low hanging fruit, meaning the relationships that we already had established, and really focused on them first and making sure that they felt like they were taken care of. And that just immediately snowballed and started generating a lot more referrals than we were normally getting. And so, I understand a lot of these firms may refer to several different clinics. We wanted to be in front of them and be top of mind, as you say, and think about us first. And that's been huge, number one. And then the ability of the liaison to make friends with every front desk person and every paralegal, and get past that gatekeeper and meet with attorneys and set up meetings for me. has been huge. We've gotten new business in firms that we never thought we would be able to work with, firms that we know have great relationships with other providers. And now, we're getting a piece of that and getting an opportunity to show what we can do with them. So it's been really great.
So you didn't let, I don't want to call them limiting beliefs, but maybe stories that, well, they're never going to work with us because they already refer to that practice, or, they're already like, you didn't let any of that stop you. Is that what you're telling me, Scott?
That's right. That's right. There's nobody that we won't talk to. There's certain firms that we won't work with. I'll say that. But those that we know have other relationships that that have been on vacation with other providers that are great friends, or that their kids go to school together, there's still room there, and we want to make sure that they know that we're actively out there wanting to do business with them, reciprocate with them, and so. No, the worst they can say is no. So we don't have any stops or any limitations on who we're talking to or who we'll meet with.
Okay, and is there any like really deciding factor or a real breakthrough that you want to share that really move the needle of your practice?
I would say number one, your liaison, they have to be fearless. They have to be friendly. My liaison, if she goes by there and the attorney won't meet with them and they say, come back another time, she'll go back the next day. She'll go back 3 days in a row until she meets with them. She's relentless.
Yeah.
Always with a smile on her face. And I think that's super important is to have someone who's not afraid to get out there and speak highly of you. I think you also, we've been pretty creative in some of the things that we've done. I'll give you an example. One firm that we had never done any business with before, that was pretty entrenched with who they use. We were talking about setting up a lunch at a particular restaurant, and the front desk administrator had never been there. Oh, I've never been to that restaurant. I hear it's great. My liaison came back the next day with a $50 gift card for her to go to lunch there on her time. And so that got us a meeting, and that set up some potential business in the future. We recently hired a food truck and parked that outside one of the big firms, and then just gave everybody passes to go with our logo on it, of course, and koozies, and they were able to go. And so we've kind of gotten creative with some of the things that we've done. That's been real effective to get to meet everybody in the office, not just one or two attorneys, to get them out of the office and meeting with us.
That's right. So you're building rapport with a front desk person, the paralegal. Of course, you want to build rapport with the attorney, but before you get to the attorney, there's other steps involved when you send a liaison in there. So that's great work, Scott. And Scott, let me ask you this question. Are you in a city, because you got like over 50 new PI referrals within the first 4 months of working in the program, are you in a city like Chicago or Miami or Los Angeles?
No, I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana. So South Central Louisiana. Our area is probably about 200 to 250,000 people. That's including a pretty large area. But no, we're not in a big city. Everybody here, we're kind of a big small town. Everybody here knows everybody, grew up together, that kind of thing. I'm not from here originally, and so still able to create those relationships. And but we market a really big area as well. So even the big cities a few hours away from us, like Houston or New Orleans, we're marketing there as well.
And you market there because those cities advertise in your market.
Absolutely.
So they need doctors in your market.
Yes, and they're pretty surprised when we knock on their door. They're happy to send us their business because now they know somebody, and so in that area.
So this program is a little better than wishing it were to be different.
You got to take action. Yeah, no, it's been fantastic for us. I'm really excited about the growth that we've seen so far, and I should have done this a long time ago, but no, the program is great. It's gotten us organized, and it really helped me to be able to hire someone and know what to do with them, know what the strategies are, being able to set up, monthly calendars in advance, and knowing who we're going to see 3 months from now, and how often we're going to see them and what we're going to do for them. It's been great.
So do you feel like you have a little more ownership of your marketing now? You can plan it out. You know what the numbers are going to be. You know, you kind of, you have more control now. Do you feel that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to, we're seeing that we're going to be able to stay consistent at a high level, and that's, the sky's the limit whenever you get to that point. So it's good.
I love it. Well, Dr. Clark, I want to thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I think you're going to help inspire and hopefully motivate other people that may have been in your position to finally take action and start having the practice that they envision for themselves. So I want to sincerely thank you for doing this interview with me, Scott. And before I let you go, anything else you want to add? Any parting shot? Any takeaway from, or anything you want to add at this point?
First of all, I want to say thank you to you for this program. I think it's a niche that it's much needed in our profession, and for those that are in the personal injury arena, it helps us to better serve our communities, and so I would say take action. Don't wait till things are perfect. Or certainly weren't. We just started going, and that's the most important thing. Is just go 90 miles an hour and work out the details as you go. And certainly, if anybody in this group has any questions, or would like to talk about it, my door is always open. Feel free to give me a call.
Okay, you want to give your phone number?
Sure. It's 337-232-3353 is our office number, and we have a couple of clinics, integrated clinics, and I'm always happy to bounce ideas off of other people and to learn from everyone I come into contact with. So
yeah, and maybe create a few more relationships that may offer you something down the road.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Scott, again, thank you so much for doing this for me. Congratulations on all the success. But hey, man, you did it. It was all you. You did it, man. Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much for doing this, and have a great day, Scott.
All right, you too.